The V-Twin playing cards by Aristo Playing Cards. One side says Poker Deck AristoPlayingCards.com, and the other is the same. The back is virtually the back design, which I'll get to more in a second. The bottom has USPC ad copy. The top says Poker Deck and AristoPlayingCards.com. Inside of that, you have standard tuck flaps, except for it says Kickstarter on the large tuck flap and nothing on the inside. So since that's all I can say for the tuck box, let's take a look at the cards. You get a black and white design of a V-Twin motor. You're looking at it from the one side, and it is duplicated. That way, it is now a two-way design. You do get a medium to thick border depending on where you go around the back design, but it does look really clean. You do get some really fun number cards. One is a smudged background on all the cards, and you get a white outline and shadow on each of the pips in the center. You also get that for the indices and the values, and a little line around the outside. The same goes for your red cards, which happen to be some of my favorite red cards, actually, in a lot of number cards that I've reviewed. And you do get some customization when it comes to placement. So the 2 and 3 and 4 are going to be the same, except for the 4 get raised up a little bit. 5 and 6 are standard. You get changed on the 7, 8, 9 stays the same, and 10 stays the same. So just a few minor changes on this, but all in all, number cards are going to be really fun. You get semi-duplicate jokers. Your 3 aces are all going to be really fun with motors on the insides of all of them. And for the first time in a while, the ace of diamonds is my favorite of the 3. Your court cards all represent a different person in the biking culture. They are all going to be divided and two-way by the same motor down the center. Your red cards are going to be divided with a red background, and black ones divided with a black background. But definitely super cool, super rustic, a little bit more grungy and dirty, but it definitely fits this vibe extremely well. Your 2 ad cards are going to be a Kickstarter card and an Aristo Playing Cards ad card. And last but not least, your ace of spades. Checking from bottom to top, it can definitely faro super smoothly and super clean. And then from top to bottom, once again, every other just like it should. The next thing you want to know about this deck is how it's going to feel in your hands and the stock of it. So the stock, when it comes to what Bicycle carries, is the classic and the premium paper, premium being the thicker of the two, and that is what this deck right here is printed on. So it's definitely going to be a thicker deck. Now when it comes to the feel of this deck, you have more buttery decks, snappy decks, and stiff decks. This one is going to be somewhere in between snappy and stiff. So things like backdrop would be great for things like a snappy deck, and then stiff decks are really just immovable. But it's still snappy enough to where you can use it. Next is just a few factors to see if you should actually even buy this deck or not. So firstly, you can actually get it for 10% off right now for the next few weeks, but only for the next few weeks using code Elijah Myers, and you'll get 10% off, but all those details will be in the description below. But if you're thinking about picking it up, make sure to do it now before that discount code is gone so you can save some money. Next, it depends on what kind of person you are. So if you're a magician, I'm probably not going to be picking this deck up simply because of the court cards and the aces. They're really overly customized, not in a bad way, but just not great for magicians. Next is for cardists. Again, not probably going to pick this deck up. Pretty self-explanatory with this back design and faces. And then when it comes to collectors, this is where it really hits home. One, you can collect all the Aristo playing cards and everything that they've produced, this being the 3rd deck that I have from them, so clearly I'm going to be collecting the Aristo playing cards and everything they produce. The other thing is, it's going to look great on a shelf like that, and if you like biking and anything along that line, or motors or whatever, this is going to be a deck that you could collect. Next is for playing card games. I mean, once again, I think it is available and usable for card games, but personally I don't want my friends to be using it for card games because I don't trust the way that they use cards. And lastly, this is a hype deck. Heck no. But as I said, Aristo Playing Cards has produced another couple of decks, and if you want to check out the Steampunk V1 or V2, I'll put the V2 right up here in a second in the deck reviews playlist right here. So once again, make sure to check those out. And if you want to be able to vote on next month's deck reviews, all the other videos that go down here on the channel, and way more bonus content, make sure to check out Patreon, which will be linked in the description below. Subscribe if you like deck reviews and all sorts of other things in Magic and playing cards and cardistry community, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. This is Card Perfect, signing off.